Do you identify with your race?
I don't identify with my race or my class. I believe that I'm a human being. For example, a lot of times when people talk about immigrants, I don't even want to call them immigrants. I want to refer to them as human beings.
Why don't you want to call them immigrants?
Because a lot of times when you put labels on people, then it's easy to exploit them. It's easy to take advantage of them. So if you say to somebody, you're a citizen and you're an immigrant, then therefore.
But when you call them immigrants, you put a label on it, right? You just want to call them human beings.
Pretty much.
How about human beings who broke the law?
Well, human beings without legal status would be fine with me. My concern in general, I understand that we need labels, and as an academic, we work with labels. So I understand that part.
You can't live without label.
My concern is that when a label has a negative connotation, where now to say immigrant it has become like a dirty word because of the politics.
Immigrant is not a dirty word. Illegal immigrant or illegal. You don't like the words illegal aliens, right?
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Because did you tell my producer you didn't want to say illegal aliens?
Well, when she invited me to the show, I didn't know much about the show.
Right.
And then when I read about it and I read about you and your comments and your books and all that, I said to myself, maybe I shouldn't go. And then I said to myself, oh, why not? He's invited me.
That's right.
But I don't want to be in a show where I'm put like if I'm on trial or if I'm running for office or anything like that, because I'm not.
Right.
So that was my only concern.
So you don't have a problem with me saying illegal aliens?
Well, you could say it, but it's not something that I accept or
okay.
I find it. I don't think it is something Christian-like.
To say illegal aliens?
To say illegal aliens because when I was growing up, I used to watch this program, My Uncle Martian or whatever it's called.
Right.
I forget.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right, so like an old program. I used to
yes.
Right, so that's to me that's an alien because it was a Martian and people that are green and have the little antennas,
But whose fault is it? Is it my fault that I have to call them that?
No,
because it was them. It was them who broke the law to come here. So they were aliens from a foreign country, and they broke the law to come to my country. So is it my fault that I have to call them illegal aliens, or is it their fault that they broke the law to get here, creating that title for themselves?
Well, it's the law's fault. I think we should.
No.
I think we should change the laws to not to demonize immigrants and not to treat them.
Well, how are you demonizing them?
Well, by putting them this label that they're.
But
illegal.
if they didn't come across the borders illegally, we wouldn't call them that. If they came through the front door, we'd just say immigrants.
Well, the people that came, the ancestors of the people that invaded Mexico and took the Mexican land. I mean, do we call them invaders?
If that's what they did.
Do I call their ancestors, the people that...
So it's their fault then that they're called that because they are breaking the law, not the American citizens, right?
Well, the law itself needs to change. I don't accept the law.
I know, but
I think
whether you want to change the law or not.
No, I understand what you're saying.
I just want to make it clear, whose fault is it? The ones who are breaking the law to come here or the ones who are calling them illegals because they're doing that?
Well, I believe that these people do not leave their country just because one day they want to wake up and separate from their families.
I understand that.
I know you believe in the family and you have those values. And like I was telling you about my parents and most Catholics, they believe exactly like you do. Exactly. Very traditional and so on and so forth. Like Trump, I'm against NAFTA. So this is where I see your question where it's problematic. NAFTA, with the free trade agreement with Canada, United States, and Mexico, created a situation where the United States can go into and disrupt those local economies by producing corn or at a cheaper rate.
Right.
Where it forces people that have these small plots, to leave their land because they can't compete against the United States.
I totally understand why they want to come.
It forces them.
Yeah, so I do understand that. But I still need an answer. Whose fault is it? My fault that I have to call them illegal aliens, or is it their fault?
It's the government's fault.
No. They're the one breaking the law. Mexico don't even allow people to come across their borders.
If it was just a question of choice and people like individual choice, they woke up like I want to go to the United States.
But you're still running away from my question.
Well, because the question, I don't agree with the premise of the question. The problem is that the government, the U.S. government and U.S. government policies, the ones that Trump is against, like NAFTA, are the same policies that produce immigration to begin with. Technically, they are breaking the law.
And are they coming?
Technically, yes, because the
Right, and are they aliens? They're coming from
I wouldn't call them aliens,
but they are aliens in that they're coming from another country to another one.
if they were coming from Mars, I would call them aliens, but that I cannot concede.
But you do agree that they are breaking the law to come here?
The way the law is written, yes.
All right,
yes.
I appreciate that.